Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Solution to conflicting interests. Talking to my friends at school now tasted stale, and even smoking marijuana seemed pointless. I became a regular at the evening classes of my new spiritual guide and friend. His words became my intoxicant, and his followers were becoming my family. I was beginning to learn how to change my consciousness. In his lecture the following week, he spoke from the Bhagavad Gita. I was already aware of the Gita, that it was an ancient book of wisdom written 5,000 years ago, and that many spiritualists refer to it for self-awareness. I had read a particular edition over the previous summer that confirmed my belief that everyone is a sum total of existence. But this translation and commentary had another story to tell. In his lecture, Srila Prabhupada also responded to my long-standing worry about interpersonal conflict. He explained that in this world, our interests always clash, and this is due to illusion. He expertly linked illusion with ignorance and sin, saying that ignorance of right and wrong is not only no excuse for committing sin, but it is the actual cause of sin. It is just like a person who does not know the laws of the state and so commits a crime unknowingly. If the person is captured, he is arrested under the law. To further illuminate the point, our saintly teacher mentioned how, due to ignorance, a child may touch fire and get burnt. Even though the child did not intend to burn himself, he suffers the consequence of his ignorance. Driving his point home, Srila Prabhupada explained that only one who does not sin can become free from duality, thus finding harmony between himself and others. A Krishna-conscious person sees no distinction between one person and another. This person is Indian, this one American, Chinese, or Russian. He transcends this. By Krishna consciousness, we can transcend this material consciousness of different interests. We will always remain separate individuals, but we will have no other interest except realization of our true selves. He concluded by saying that the only cure for the miseries of life is to remove our ignorance of Krishna, who is the cause of all causes and all that is. No material measure can help us. The morning programs now became a part of my routine schedule. Every morning, Prabhupada led kirtan. Then, after offering prayers, he took his chanting beads out of their bag, held a strand for 108 beads across the top of the lectern, and fingered them with his right hand. Chant one round, he would say, and everyone chanted the Hare Krishna mantra on their beads as he did. I had no beads myself, but I said the mantra along with everyone else. After 10 minutes of soft chanting, which he called japa, he would recite a Sanskrit verse and then begin class. After a few days of attending the morning program, I ventured to stay for breakfast. Sweet oatmeal with milk, nuts, sugar, dates, and raisins. Each of our plates also had on it a spongy round cake called gulab jamun. Delicately flavored with rose water, rich with ghee or clarified butter, and soaked in a honey-like juice. This breakfast, the devotees told me, and every other meal as well, was called prasadam, meaning mercy. food that had been first offered to Krishna with devotion and had thus become spiritual. They told me that they don't eat their meals, rather, they honor prasadam. That is, they honor Krishna's mercy by ingesting those sacred edibles. Since prasadam is non-different from Krishna himself, having been eaten by him, and thus mixed with his own essence, they honor it as they would honor Krishna himself. After experiencing a few delicious prasadam breakfasts, I began to stay longer, speaking with the devotees, listening to their conversations with other guests, chanting japa, or joining in kirtan, or congregational singing. Otherwise, I read Srila Prabhupada's small booklets, Easy Journey to Other Planets, Message of Goodwill, Who is Crazy, and the first issue of Back to Godhead magazine. Srila Prabhupada had initially started Back to Godhead in 1944, following the orders of his own Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. During the 1940s and 1950s, he had published it bi-monthly in India. Now, under his direction, his two young American disciples, Hayagriva and Rai Rama, who were both editors, writers, and publishers by experience and profession, were relaunching it in New York. They had mimeographed as many copies as the stencils could make, about 100. I like the little blurb just above its masthead. Godhead is light. Nescience is darkness. Where there is Godhead, there is no nescience. The more I read, the more I became enchanted with the entire process of Krishna consciousness. But more, it had the effect of dissuading me from returning to City College. As the days passed, I even began skipping classes. I saw Krishna consciousness as more educational and fulfilling than school could ever be. Kirtanananda, the temple commander, let me share the devotees' daily services of cleaning, watering the plants, and helping to collate the second issue of their magazine. I had found a new home.
Hare